single one of us.
Yep.
Everybody's here.
Yep.
Woot woot.
So we've got Ezra, the really, really invisible, necromancer.
I don't know that spell yet.
Almost there. Played by the one silent one. What? I'm pointing. I am. Our broken fighter, Segrid, played by Miss Misery, up there.
Hi.
Dantiir, our half-elf bard of glamour, and now warlock, played by Kendrick.
Hi, everybody.
Over here, we've got our off-tested ASMR grave cleric of Kellenvor, played by Squid Kittens. 100% Toren. And we also have our other, could be twins, our other ASMR paladin of devotion, Anna, played by Batwolf. There we go. And I'm the dungeon master, the invisible, the fantastic, the invisible girl, FN Science Man.
Yay.
I don't know who clapped, so no inspiration for that. So let's.
Aww.
So it says I'm streaming, but I'm also apparently hosting.
Yeah, I had to refresh it a few times.
Fascinating.
Okay. But it is right now this time. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Technology is the greatest.
It's those eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Got new eyeballs on it now.
Yeah.
All right, so last time we made it to the village of Kresk, the walled village of Kresk, in fact. You brought in a cart of what few remaining casks of wine there were. Dropped them off at the Kreskov's manor. And by manor, I mean just a rather large house. There's so many... It's almost like a small camping village with who remains left. You did manage to help birth a baby here in town.
Yay.
It was
Baby.
awful.
You might have also evaporated Ireena into nothing.
I mean,
Before the lightning happened.
yeah. That part's important.
But hopefully evaporated to a happy place. She seemed to remember a past life as a trapped soul in Barovia. You know there are some people who just keep getting reborn until something happens to their soul or they are taken to a better place. And Ireena, formerly the soul of Tatiana, has gone to that better place with Sergei Vonzerevich, her one true love, who was waiting for her here in a sacred pool.
He was waiting in the pond this whole time.
This whole time. I mean, he might have been waiting in some other waters, but we never went near those. Strahd was very upset, I think. That might be why his face appeared in the storm clouds and shot lightning at your presence.
Maybe.
Evaporating most of the pool, destroying the rest of the Dread Gazebo. Which, if you're unfamiliar with or you didn't catch us the last time, then just Google Dread Gazebo and you're all set.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what happened. Okay, and that's when you found that behind the Kreskov's family house, a lot of the places here just seem to have a backyard of things they're growing, gardens, and also family crypts. And it looked like, upon investigation, somebody had been stealing bodies.
Bodies.
The only one left was the very young daughter of the Kreskovs that had only recently died. The other bodies seem to have been snatched long away. Their teen son, other teen daughter, and... Well, I mean, if this last kid died, then that means that the Kreskov line is kind of done for. Burgomasters...
It's a shame.
Yeah, they were good burgomasters, say the citizens. But I think...
For the hot dog master.
Yeah. Unlike Burgomaster Meister Burger, who's terrible. Last I think we checked was that everybody here agreed, for maybe the first time, on a topic,
Yeah.
and the topic was that grave robbing is terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There were mysterious bells. There were leonine prints, like big cats, but in the dirt. Not very good at covering their tracks, even under the snow. And, kind of roars coming up from atop the northeast hill, where everybody says, well, that's the Abbey. We just don't go there, because there's weird people there.
What time of day is it?
Right now, it is about 11 in the morning. Very overcast, thunderclouds.
Still.
Some light snow on the ground everywhere. What do you want to do?
We saw footprints, right?
Leading up to the Abbey.
Definitely.
Yes.
Toren has dropped his thaumaturgy, so his eyes are glowing. And he is just going to try to follow those tracks to whoever has been stealing baby corpses.
Kendrick is falling in step immediately behind.
All right.
We're gonna walk next to Toren because she's a tracker.
Nice.
She's attracted.
Well, you know I've noticed she blushes a lot around Toren.
No,
Toren does not.
Toren has not noticed that at all.
Why is this the one with that video? All right.
It's amazing.
Fine. All right. Segrid, if you could, Segrid and Toren, give me some tracking.
Oh, good. That's gonna be what, survival?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on, I'm proficient in this one for once.
I believe in you. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
This is how we do.
I can actually
Hey!
Oh, man.
Oh shit!
Go
Okay.
team.
We know what they had for breakfast.
Dang. They were. They had some kind of rice gruel. As you see it like dropped a little bit by the side of the road. You found one of their discarded spoons. It looks like they bit it too hard. By like flat teeth. It's weird. There's some sort of drag line, maybe from the body or something that they were carrying. It seems longer than cloaks, but they definitely have come from up and down this switchback road that hugs the cliff. It's only about 10 foot wide, covered with loose gravel, chunks of broken rock. So otherwise would have been kind of difficult to detect, but you've been at this for a while. Now the ascent is slow and somewhat treacherous, and the air grows ever colder as you're nearing the top. And so you go from an elevation of about 300 feet above sea level to about 1,000 feet very quickly. The road doubles back on itself twice before it reaches the top of this mount, where the road from the village actually climbs above the mist. You are super close to those storm clouds above. But there is a wide ledge of mountain on which this abbey is perched, and there's a light dusting of snow covering these trees and the rocky earth, and the gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, and to either side of which stretches a 5-foot high, 3-foot thick wall of jumbled stones held together with mortar, and blocking the road at the end are iron gates attached to those outbuildings by very rusty hinges. The gates appear to be unlocked, and viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. It's got 2 wings, joined by a 15-foot high curtain wall, and a belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, which also sports a chimney that's billowing gray smoke.
Probably bats up there.
In that belfry?
Yeah.
Probably.
Did you say bats? Because that's great.
Yes, I think in the belfry, that's where they hang out, right?
I mean, I could go find out.
Definitely send Ethan up there.
Well,
Is it-
that depends on if he wants to or not, actually.
It is very cold.
Okay, you can just stay in my cloak. That's fine.
We can't have him run any reconnaissance.
I mean, that might
Doesn't
be.
have any
nice.
body fat to keep him warm.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
if
right.
he wants to.
That's true. We'll leave him be.
So these are the gates are like bars. It's not like a door.
Right.
Is there anybody like in sight?
Nobody obvious here. At least not on the outside of these gates.
You know, cast a look over at both my brother and Segrid. Like, put my hand on the door and. Shall we go in?
Sigurd will. I'm not sure what you say with a spear. Unsheath, take out. I don't know. She's got her fucking spear in her hands either way. If she has to, she'll make it look like she's walking with it, but it's in her hand.
All right. This giant blood red spear.
Yes.
Crimson blade is out. And you go up to these gates. It doesn't look like there's any lock on them. They're just like gates that are meant to be swung, just not in great use.
I will motion for Segrid, who is far more muscly than I am, to give the gates a push.
Do we hear any more of the weird screaming that we heard earlier?
Not at the moment.
Alright, I'll push the door open. Like, I'm hitting it not hard enough that it'll hit the wall, but just enough that it'll swing open and I can see what's there without having to stick my head in and get stabbed in the eye.
Powerful. All right. So it gets door gets shoved in. It's just freely flies back. It almost gets close over to the wall, but like the weight of it and the way that it's attached is meant to, I guess, swing back out. So it already starts on its backswing. But something else that stopped it is you hit something in just a small drift of snow, and that something rouses itself and knocks off this blanket, kind of a net, as it gets up, and it's actually two things, or two persons in cloaks covered in snow here, and they maybe were sleeping because you seem to hear some snuffling coming out from them, but these two persons are standing about 4 feet tall, and as they knock the snow off their cloaks and go in full view of yourselves, you can see they're very, very different from anything you have seen so far. One has these kind of half dog-like face and these gray-skinned but powerful-looking legs and a donkey's tail peeking out from under his cloak.
What?
Carrying a shovel, firmly gripped into his hands. And the other is, as you see her cloak fall away, knocking the snow off, you see half scale, half fur, and just the barest shape of a feminine figure as she is holding on to the remains of a net that they had been lying under. One of her eyes is that of feline, and her fingers and hands look like maybe cat's paws, just with opposable thumbs.
Do they see us, or are they?
Oh yeah, they've come up around the gate, having been run into, and now they're standing there in front of the gate. One kind of holding that net with, I'm not sure what they're going to try to do with it, but they're holding it between their two paws, and the other one with the shovel, looking at you, I mean, they're only 4 feet tall, so they're both looking up at you. But the one with the shovel is looking rather fierce, and the one with the net is rather not.
Does the one with the shovel? I think that the feet would match what we had seen.
They are big enough. You might need to get a better look at them exactly, but they are right number of toes at the very least.
Ezra's furiously taking notes, just like super fascinated,
Yeah, these things are weird.
unabashedly just gawking.
Do they look like children?
We are not children. Otto's strongest, smartest, wisest, fastest, most beautiful person I know. This is the dog one. And of the cat, lady, lizard, you hear very demurely and more of almost a stage whisper to Otto. I don't like the way they are judging me. They are looking at me. Everyone's
Can I
always judging me.
Can I see the bottom of your feet?
Why? I do not show my feet to the world. And the Otto with those big feet, tries to hunch down a little bit while holding on to his shovel.
But I thought you were the best, the brightest, the most beautiful. Why would you want to hide your feet?
I didn't know we all had foot fetishes, guys. I'm not I mean, you are into what you're into.
She means to compare them to the tracks.
Yeah, huh?
Oh.
Otto is now shuffling his feet into the snow. Like, they are too beautiful for you.
You often go down to the town.
They are definitely backing up just very slightly. And Otto is kind of holding onto the shovel with both hands, but you see him starting to lean one hand to the left as if to grab onto the gate. Town! Huh! Huh! So we don't go to the town. Town is not for wee folk. Town is for ugly folk.
I want to insight check him.
Okay.
I'm also going to step forward so I'm in the doorway.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can't close it. Not only do you think that is the worst fake laugh you've ever heard.
I've heard a lot.
Yeah. But now that you're a bit closer, those are, well, that's the right number of toes, and you think that might be the right size feet for what you found around the disturbed graves. And there is definitely still an opening there, as Segrid is keeping the entire area from being closed.
Kendrick's going to lean over to his brother. I think that we may have found the source of the tracks.
My roll 20 just froze, so I'll be right back.
Right.
So he has the shovel in his hand, right?
Yes.
Do you do much digging with that shovel?
This is my lucky shovel. It is for turnips.
Really?
Turnips.
Yes, big white things, small. Big.
That's funny, because looks kind of like there's grave dirt on it.
He looks at it. I don't see any. Where?
Right there. Pointed a particularly dirty bit of shovel.
Okay. It is absolutely covered in snow, and there may in fact be some grave dirt on it.
I'm also gonna be like casting my eyes around. I'm gonna step up next to Segrid, and see if I can get a better look of the inside of this gate.
Oh, sure. Inside the gate's kind of interesting. So what you can see on the inside section here.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's so many. No, I can actually put you right here. So as you look on the inside, just over to the right, there's some stunted pine trees growing out of the rocky earth. There's windows of the nearest part of the abbey, showing with cracked panes of leaded grass, but bursting out of the thin crust of snow in the yard are these ancient gravestones. And beyond the low wall that surrounds the graveyard, the ground just kind of falls away. The village of Kresk lies about 400 feet below. And then the path continues southward. More of the building, I think another door. And this is, of course, where Otto, our dog mongrel folk, is getting a little, let's say, uncomfortable with the space that Segrid and Dantiir are taking up here in the front gate.
I see nothing. I just see a black screen.
Same.
I now see things. I just started seeing them.
But Sigurd's gonna look back at Toren and just say, "This is your domain. I'll follow your lead." And she'll make just enough room for him to pass through if he wants.
Fudge.
Oh no, now it is black for me too.
Oh, there we go. I can see now.
We know the name. We know the name of the father who runs the abbey. I'm drawing a complete and total blank.
The abbot.
The abbot.
The abbot. The abbot. The abbot runs the abbey. Go figure.
I know, right?
I'll take a step forward and sort of just splay my hands a little bit and just look back and forth between the two of them and say, "We've come to speak to the abbot. We mean you no harm."
They're sniffing at you, and
I shudder a little bit. Really, he's very rigid. Like, you've seen, Toren's always uptight. This nothing new. But this is like a new level of statuary he has reached, having seen these two creatures.
After a sniff in which Toren may or may not have actually felt a very close snout, very, very wet nose, Otto and Siegfried do deign to at least guide you in a little further, especially if it means that you're going to leave this front. And say, Abbot inside, of course, sitting with, they are in the front, almost lunchtime. And they kind of pass you forward so that you can go into, well, they've got their nearest doors. You pass a bunch of cracked windows. They've got a set of double doors just around the curve. Past the snow, and there's like a 15-foot high curtain wall that's here in the middle, joining the Abbey's two wings. And the Otto kind of like sort of does a salute, like a half salute, like a pretend salute, because there's two guards there standing at attention. But the doors behind them are these 10-foot tall wooden doors, and next to them at the front of this wall is a mounted, tarnished copper plaque. And as you get closer to these doors, you see that those guards on the wall are actually propped up scarecrows that are wearing corroded chain shirts and clutching rusted spears. And those double doors look to be heavy, but Otto says they are unlocked and you can go inside to see the abbot.
Has it been like pretty silent the whole time we've been walking?
Well, other than Otto and that, now that you've come closer, there's actually the sound of quite a few movements from inside here. And in fact, now that you can see the courtyard in here, there's kind of some shuffling going on from within it. There's a well there in the center. There's some inner gatehouses, and in the courtyard beyond those heavy doors is kind of a thick fog that it was almost as if it was trapped in here and just kind of eager to escape, and a little bit of it just kind of flows out around your feet. And those scarecrow guards, there's a couple of them hanging about the courtyard. But in the center is a stone well, and it's fitted with an iron winch with a rope and bucket. And there's a lot of stone sheds along the perimeter of this courtyard and tucked under some overhanging walls. And all of the wood doors are padlocked. Like they are... You've been in Barovia a couple weeks, maybe a few months. Time seems to pass in strange ways, but people usually like put bolts on their doors or bar them from the inside. These are padlocked from the out one. That's kind of weird. And to be in the middle of an abbey, that's kind of weird too.
Can I see anything inside of them?
There are... if you go up to them, maybe.
Like, not like right up to them, but like, you know, I will attempt to like get close enough so that it won't look horrifically suspicious as we make our way to wherever we're supposed to be going.
Sure. I will say that just as you're passing deeper into the courtyard proper, you do hear a lot more rattling, actually. There is a creature chained to a post. There's two wood posts there at the northeast part of the courtyard, and it's pounded into the rocky earth, and they've got iron rings bolted to them. And chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and very visible spider mandibles. And so, like, maybe would that give Dantiir pause? Maybe just for a second. So while you're caught in that moment, kind of, that's something. The quiet up here is shattered by horrible screams, and they are coming from these nearby sheds. Which, talking about from over here. There we go. Oh, and some more screaming now starts from behind the spider bat spider. Perhaps.
This place is truly a wonderland.
In a bad way. I mean, like, I wouldn't pay to like be here.
This place is terrible.
Pah! This place for the beautiful. Here, I get Abbott. He explains. And Otto kind of shuffles into the north building there with Siegfried just kind of following behind, rather than a shuffle, looking back very furtively, but pulling her cloak hood up much tighter.
Ezra,
see
what's
those
your
candles.
opinion on this place?
I don't think that you would like it. I can't help but be a little fascinated. Like, are they born like that, or were they made like that? You know, it's kind of something is strange.
Are there like stitches visible on them?
Actually, no. It looks like these are like grown parts almost.
Could I do an Arcana check to see if it's like a curse or spell or something?
Ooh, good one. Yes.
Okay. 16.
This one is definitely some sort of magic that has been done or is part of heritage, since there's no stitches on there. The ones that are screaming, you can hear some mangled like comment in there, but it's mostly guttural growls and yowlings. There is something of people in there, if not tortured, then just very uncomfortable.
I wonder what the abbot will look like.
We'll find out.
Could be terrible. Terrible to behold. Possibly.
Or did we get any description of him from?
Oh, you barely got a prescription of the mongrel folk out here. They said they were kind of weird.
Kind of weird?
Mm-hmm.
They were they downsold it a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Like they said they have kind of weird arms and eyes, and then one of the guy, what was his name? No. I can't remember his name. I feel so terrible now.
Oh,
he had a great name.
That's fine. Balthazar's is fine.
Balthazar.
Yeah.
Like said that they had weird eyes, and then made the motion for like 8 eyes.
Oh. So, well, spidery. Those ones over there are spidery.
Yes.
Speaking of spidery, that's where you get to see, well, the abbot as he steps out of the...
Spiders.
It's just spiders.
He's just spiders.
He's just spiders, man.
A collection of
Spiders in a robe.
Actually, so as the abbot comes out, he is it's kind of strikingly handsome. Looks to be maybe his 20s, maybe early 30s, but his eyes are definitely faint in there. He's wearing a very thick headdress and cloak, kind of like an old-time nurse's headgear, where it kind of swoops out from the front, almost like there's little angel wings around his head.
Flying nun.
To Anna and Toren, though, with eyes awoken, you see angelic power. He is not carrying a scepter, but it's almost as if he has this holy radiance about him. And his mortal form, his physical presence here, is just something to share with the other mortals. You're in the presence of an actual physical other planar thing. Or person, as he approaches a little closer and does just a short, very short head bow.
Huh.
I don't understand.
Huh.
Does it feel tainted at all? Like,
There is just a great white light around it. And as he comes up and says to you, "May her light guide you. Welcome to the Abbey of Saint Markovia. The Bellevues told me we had guests. You
He's got a
are..."
weird voice.
He looks at Toren and Anna. "You are young ones. In whose service do you come?"
Anna looks at Torin and then
Lauren looks at Anna like,
in Sune's service. I mean, obviously.
Obviously. And now he looks at Dantiir and Ezra and Segrid, and you each feel as if you're under the gaze of a radiant sun, but without the warmth. You just feel a very powerful light. And even just looking at this abbot, you have the faintest feeling that you should be squinting, but there's no extra shine coming off of him. Yes, fine stock. Supple muscles, legs, hamstrings.
Okay, now you're being really creepy.
yeah, I am stepping in front of everyone else. Like, no.
Stock?
Oh, forgive me. I have been working with such limited resources for such a while. The Bellevues, of course, came to me first, and we've been trying to help out all those who have sought for their betterment. Poor Marzena there. Well, it is almost lunchtime. I do hope she'll be in kind of a mood for company. And he's indicating the bat, spider-fanged lady who is still chained. She has stopped screaming at the moment, and the screams around you from the different padlocked storage rooms seem to have quieted down as the abbot stepped over here. Even the snow has taken on a bit of a muted name. Please, we have not had company from the village in some time. I have He tilts his head in just such a way. Yes. Maybe we can be of service to each other. I have a young daughter who is not very familiar with guest etiquette yet. Perhaps you would all join us for a fine lunch.
I don't know about that. Like, are we gonna eat with you, or are we the lunch? Because I'm getting that vibe.
I think it's the talking about the hamstrings and the supple muscles.
Yeah, I think they're getting weighed for dissection.
Oh no. Oh no, you misunderstand us here. Here at the Abbey of St. Markovia, we are all here of voluntary intent. The Bellevues came to me first. They were sick, and I applied healing techniques. But they wanted to go beyond this, beyond the limits of the mortal human frame.
You have people locked in cages. I don't know if they would agree that they are here voluntarily.
Oh, certainly they do. They came to me and wanted such improvements. And we have made such great advances upon those improvements. They just need to be kept in an area where they adjust to their new senses and abilities. It is almost lunchtime. They will quiet down as they
How
have
long
a
have they
good
been
meal.
adjusting?
Oh, it's been just a few days now. All of our well-adjusted residents are in our south wing, of course. Doing
Right.
chores, prayers.
Can Secret see any of the mongrel folks' faces like the other two that were greeted us?
Oh, Otto and Siegfried have gone into, I guess the cafeteria is that north building.
Oh, okay.
And you can see that Siegfried is kind of peeking out from that door. And she is only 4 feet tall, and the door is not a small door. So you can see her just
What
I guess not curious, but...
What does her face show as he's talking about this crap?
She's mostly looking at you all, and is almost hiding behind the door as if in protection. But she seems to consider the cafeteria at least a place of safety. The abbot seems to have just a placid look on his face, but as if marking the time, says, "Well, if not, then I must return to dear Vasilka's lessons. We usually wrap up before the general lunch bell is rung. She gets nervous when there's too many people about."
Dantiir is going to pull aside Toren.
Toren is not gonna
But-
take his eyes off of creepy angel death demon.
"Oh, you may call me the abbot," he says, like offhandedly.
Seeing this like weird look on Toren's face.
We want to check. He says he has a daughter. I don't know if I believe him, but it might be.
Might be what?
I don't. It sounds like it's not one of the mongrel folk.
Yet, maybe.
And
Mm-hmm.
I like thinking that like Anna's just like leaning forward like
Yeah.
yet and then like leaning back.
part of me wants to just check and make sure that nothing horrible is happening to them.
Well, we know something horrible is happening to them. Look at them.
I was referring to the daughter, not the mongrel folk. It's very obvious something is wrong with the mongrel folk, but
Why should your care be more for her than them?
because if the etiquette lessons are turning her into one of them, maybe we can stop him before he does.
We're already here. We should get lunch.
I love Ezra.
I love Ezra so much too. I was just thinking that.
I'm gonna be making notes on the abbot, just like, this guy's really creepy.
I'm just a little concerned with what he might be trying to feed us. I don't.
I agree.
He takes a cinnamon roll out of his pocket and drops it in one of the
I
slots.
have the
padlock
means.
sheds.
I have the means to protect us in that case. But
Well, I mean, it's not that I think it's tainted or anything. I just I feel like the term mystery meat is gonna be,
we're all aware. Let's learn more.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay.
So what's for lunch?
I turns with like hands clasped behind his back. Oh, it is delightful. We have the lightest and moist brisket a vegetable stew, and of course our Lady Light's lovely lemonade. If you'd like to start with a garden salad, we have grown them on the grounds ourselves.
I'm good with the salad and the vegetable stew. That would be best.
Salad sounds lovely.
Water for me, please. I don't have much of an appetite. I apologize.
Certainly, we have all freshness inside. Please, come, enjoy. And the Abbey, the Abbot, gets closer to the door, and you see Segrid is now backed away from it. And the Abbot kind of acts as if he did not notice, and does open the door for you, and you can pass inside very easily. There's a nice big set of tables and chairs. There's a couple of, you see Otto and Siegfried in there, and to most of you, well, this is something of a sight. There is seated at the table where Siegfried and Otto have kind of gotten some of the brisket, and they're picking it up, and they've got it in bowls. As you're getting close, there's some gentle sounding music trickling down from some higher floor, played on a single stringed instrument by some unseen master. There's a large 50-foot square room with arched leaded glass windows. There's a cauldron sitting on an iron rack above a fire in a hearth, and above that fireplace mantle is a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. In one corner, there's a wooden staircase climbing to the upper level. In another corner, a stone staircase descending into darkness. And there's several chairs surrounding this long wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. There's wooden dishware and gold candelabras neatly arranged on the table, and standing behind which is a young woman with just alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown, and her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her soft shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts. At least, well, until she sees Toren and Dantiir and Segrid. And her eyes seem to light up. There might have even been like a line of drool coming from the side of her face, but there is definitely a spark in her eyes, and you may have missed this though, Toren and Dantiir and Segrid, because standing next to her in full armor and plate and magic markings is Glovia Falenescu.
Oh no!
And before she can say more than you, from the mouth of the red-robed woman, you hear, Toren! Dantiir! Welcome home! Mama, they're here!
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, she did not.
Oh no!
And I think we're ready for our first break. Welcome back, Isabella and Glovia Falenescu.
It's amazing.
And as the abbot says, "Oh, you've met."
I'm gonna rip that woman to pieces.
Yep.
Time to use those 5th level spells.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Ezra has no idea.
Nope.
Neither does Anna. Neither does
Nope.
Anna.
They're both just like, what?
Oh wow. The abbot's just standing with a big smile on his face. All right, so if you don't mind, let's take a real quick, 7-minute break as we gather some things around, and we'll see you all back in Barovia in about 7 minutes. So.
Okay, I'm gonna take the puppy dog outside.
Oh my god, I need more tea. Okay.
I need drink.
Well, it's not. I mean, you don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Are we all back in?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Bro.
Alrighty. So as we last left off, a mighty you from Glovia, a Toren, Segrid, Dantiir from this really tall, white-skinned lady with the voice of a young child, and the very, very cushy, very radiant abbot saying, "Oh, you've met." With Otto, Bellevue, and Siegfried, collecting brisket plates, heading to the table, and some music coming from above. So, what do you want to do?
I would like to cast a spell at Glovia.
Okay,
Running towards her.
Anna's
go
just
for it.
like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Dantir's sword is out, and he is moving towards Glovia as
So
well.
I'm gonna try to move faster than the other two because I am casting Flame Strike at this biatch.
Mm-hmm.
So she needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Sure.
And
Oh,
it's
she's...
Okay, so she fails. So she takes 15 fire damage and 6 radiant damage.
Sure.
As soon as he sees that come down, Dantiir is going to throw a heat metal on her metal armor.
Hmm.
Secret's still running her.
So she will need to make a Constitution, and that DC is wrong for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
She'll have to beat a 16 Constitution to not be horrifically uncomfortable.
Okay. I think she got it on that one.
Okay. But she does take that damage.
Sure. So with the hurt put on that, there is a couple things happen at once. Otto and Siegfried do get out of the way and dive for a corner where they are now huddled together, and Isabel in this new body is screaming a little bit about
No.
no, what are you doing? What are you doing to my mommy? Glovia is more yelling about the hot metal and the hot flames that are coming for her as she's throwing up a shield that you see shimmering into existence. And also at the same time, the abbot sheds his earthly form, and you do all see his full celestial divineness. And I need all of you with eyes to make a saving throw.
Ha! You thought I had eyes!
This will be a charisma saving throw.
Oh, fuck.
To behold.
Okay, but if you guys are
grace.
within 10 feet of me, you get a plus 2. I left my player's handbook upstairs. Shit.
Okay, so if it's a +2, wow, nice job, bro.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, it's a +3. It's my charisma
Okay.
mod. It's a
I am
+3.
pissed.
Yeah, Kendrick is upset.
I got 16. If I get the +3.
So
Nice.
21 for both me and Toren.
Okay.
Oh wait, save. Sorry, I did the wrong thing.
Oh, sure.
15.
There we go.
16, 17, 18 for Anna.
9 for Ezra.
Okie dokie. Everybody who got better than 16, then you are kind of wowed by it, but you are not physically stunted in any way. But for those who did lower, and let's say lower than 17, I'd say, you are just paralyzed for a moment as this kind of divine radiance does kind of shock you into place as you just hear in a very different voice from the abbot command to stop. And Glovia's shield is still shimmering into place. Dantiir, you haven't been paralyzed, but this is a commanding thing. Toren, same from you, and you do recognize the kind of power behind the power at this. And so at this point, go ahead and everyone roll initiative. Just so we can make sure to give you all proper actions.
Oh, okay.
Yay,
hold on.
Sigrid and me.
So,
Sigrid goes before Anna because she has a higher dex.
I got a nat 20.
Nice.
And I think I go with and I go before you, Anna. Then.
Yeah, both you and Sigrid go before me because my
Okay.
dex mod is 0.
Woo, I'm last.
Ezra's like, I don't know what's going on, y'all.
I'm just an angel. That's amazing.
Ezra's like leaning back, eating something, watching the show.
There's still brisket.
like talking to his bat. Like, this is the weirdest lunch I've ever been to.
Ezra, we love your accent. This. Okay, I think that.
I have a feeling like on really slow nights, if we ever get a really slow night, everyone just tries to do their best impression of Ezra while they're sitting around the campfire.
Oh yeah.
No, don't make fun of me.
No, it's not the making fun.
Just really like your accent.
No.
I really like it. I can't do it, but I really like it.
Oh, yeah, no, Anna, that is terrible.
I don't have a thing for voices.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and
Like, this is my Toren.
I thought that was Toren for a second.
Surprisingly, that is also Dantiir's Toren.
I hate both of you.
Getting really good at this, guys.
And Anna, let's see.
Yeah, let's hope this goes well, guys. I already used my only 5th level spell.
We're not hosed at all. No.
No, that's probably fine. Let's see.
Don't worry, I still got my holy chipper shredder.
It's true.
There we go, 14.
Oh, I hate her so much.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So much.
So for those who haven't been
Like
with us
a
since
lovely woman.
like episode 3,
God. Ah!
Which means she had to go hunting for Ireena. Oh, I hate her. I
Yep.
hate her so much.
Yep.
you can have these conversations aloud. The abbot wants to know, like, what is going on here? You are attacking my assistant and my daughter. Why should I not destroy you right now? Speak.
This woman desecrated corpses, attempted to bind the spirit of her daughter, and apparently, though we thought we had freed her, she has managed to do it somehow. She has tried to kill us multiple times.
Well, once.
She has tried to kill us. And we are not about to let her leave without answering for what she has done.
She's a fugitive.
She was sentenced and escaped before her sentencing could be carried out.
Oh, and there goes Toren's, confidence. Bye. Thanks for bringing that back up.
Surely you would not want to house a fugitive of the law.
To whose law do you obey in these lands? Is it the local mayor, burgomaster, landowner, gods.
Do you not respect the laws of the people?
The people do have their laws, but there are kings and kings of kings above them, are there not? You are of the outside world, that is clear. Clearly, Strahd has brought you to Barovia for a reason. This place exists as a redemption chance for so many souls. They must go through their own lives and make their choices and live by their consequences. If they fail, then they are allowed to live again. Would you so quickly take from them their chance of redemption? Are you able to give them another chance as easily?
An endless cycle of this is not redemption.
How can you harbor such evil?
How many chances are you willing to give before it's too late?
Lady Falinescu has been quite essential to the research here at the Abbey. The body that you see before you was made in advancement of all golem lore and knowledge. The folk here who came for powers and growth and health, free from the human limitations. They've come here for a better life and to dedicate themselves to bettering the lives of others in similar downtrodden situations. I believe even the Count Strahd von Zarevich can be calmed if he is provided with the means of redemption. And he points at Isabella, seated there at the table, who is... there are tears coming down out of one of her eyes, and the other one looks like there's almost like a stream of dirt coming down the other one.
Ooh.
Just like some kind of brown, brackish green thing that's flowing down the other cheek. But she's holding very tightly onto her mother's arm, and you can see that the heated armor has burned a little bit of her hand. And under the silk sleeve of that red soiled dress, you can see some stitches, certainly finer than on the fleshed golem Lucian you had seen so long ago in Arashna.
As soon as Kendrick sees that she's like holding on to the part that the metal of the armor, he's dropping heat metal.
Okay, that at least helps. And she keeps trying to take off the bracers of her mother, and her mother's letting her, while Glovia keeps an eye on everyone here.
Yes, we know where the babies went. Fine skin and hamstrings, I think he said.
If the souls are recycled upon this land, then I think it's only befitting that the bodies must be put to good use, if no one is using them.
Neither one of those is right.
How can you do this?
I was sent here to provide the redemption. I must use what resources are available in order to succeed. even
Sent-
these trials.
Sent by who?
He raises a hand, and the angelic form is still there, but now you see something flash into existence around his neck, and there is a necklace of, clearly, a golden symbol of the Morning Lord, sent by the highest power.
And now, quick question. None of this, all of this is like against the Morning Lord's teachings. I would know that.
This does seem really different. Though the helping people seek redemption is part of
Right.
the Morning Lord's thing. Usually it's not taught to their priests or fellow religion aspects of using bodies for things. It's generally bring glory of the sun to all dark places of the world, increase people's respect of the church. So he absolutely could be sent by the Morning Lord to bring sun to this very, very dark place. Morning Lord followers usually to be very optimistic, very fervent in their faith and in their works. They definitely do a lot of works.
So him being holed up in here behind closed doors does not mesh.
There weren't any locks on the gates.
This place turns everyone evil. It breaks everyone.
Does Anna get a sense that he's evil, or just like almost like misguided in his own quest or what he was sent to do? Like, does he really come across like, I don't know if she would recognize, since she does know that he is of a different plane. Does she know what he is? And
Yes, both Anna and Toren would be very familiar with angelic beings. This one would be known as a shard of the divine, a deva in common vernacular, like a literal angel sent to the material plane. And all of you, what you are feeling, what you are considering, are absolutely true feelings. These are not the actions of a good. These are not good actions. So, Angel, may this abbot be flesh golems and stolen baby skins and Glovia Falinescu's rituals to bring back her daughter, place them in a body. You know what that would have taken. Well, most of you. To Ezra and Anna. Anna, this would be not very good aligned. And Ezra, what would be your views on this? So what you would have heard so far is that this person has brought back a daughter. The markings on Glovia's armors and what you can see kind of around Isabella's forearms, and now that you can tell shoulders and ears and such, there are several finely sewn attachments here. This is like the very finest undertaking, but also necromantic works here.
He doesn't know what to make of it because it's very morally gray. Or at least it's sort of like, well, if it was just a body and it's not a soul anymore, he's unsure. Like, he feels like it's like, this is probably really bad, but at the same time I understand.
Has Strahd not been searching for a bride all this time? Kidnapping
Oops.
women? Kidnapping young daughters of this land? How could I allow that to continue? The way to Strahd's redemption is to make him what he seeks. Make him a victimless bride. And he presents with full arms Isabella's body.
This
A
is
maid
not
bride.
a victimless. This woman has slain her husband because he did not want this for their child. Was going to slay another child to bring her back.
And now she is bound to this vessel, and Strahd doesn't want just any girl. He wants a very specific one, which he cannot get. And if you offer him up that which he doesn't want, he's simply going to destroy it.
Have you tried? Have you presented him with such an option?
Oh, can I punch him in the
Presented him
face?
with my weapon.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. I'll go in order. Dantiir, do you want to do anything else?
I am going to keep my... I am going to move a little bit closer to Glovia. And I am just going to keep... If she moves towards us at all hostilely, I'm going to slash her up.
Sure. Okay. Isabella's holding on a little more tightly and kind of eyeing you carefully, Dantiir. The abbot will walk over to the Bellevues where they are crouching, huddled in fear, and says, "There is no need to worry," and even picks up their fallen plates of brisket. The lemonade, unfortunately, is spilled on the floor. It's like, "You are safe in the Abbey. St. Markovia watches upon us all." Glovia will will pat the arm of her daughter, I guess, and will release her shield that she has up and speak to Dantiir, who is closest, but loud enough for all to see, to hear. "I have made mistakes, the worst anyone could make. I ran from the village, and it was for terrible crimes. I was intercepted out of the way by Strahd's own vampire spawn and taken to Ravenloft. He did confess to me that he was going to put on a contest of sorts between you and your brother, and that my role was not yet finished. And then he sent me here. He said I would be needed. And that's where I met the abbot and the great workings that he has been doing here. I was able, through resources, bring back Isabella whole and better than she has ever been since she was taken by her sickness. Her soul was lost here in the ether of the valley, but we were able to bring it back. And we did so using only those who were already going to be lost. Their souls, I can promise you, are unharmed and will be reborn somewhere else in the valley, as are the cycles. But for right now, my daughter is back. She is whole and in a body she should have had. Would you take this from her? Do what you will with me. I've done my life's greatest work. And she'll pat Isabella again on the arm, and in fact take her other hand and pull Isabella's taller head now to her and kind of kiss her on the forehead. And Isabella's still crying, like half tears and half goop. There's absolutely no shield around her, and she does look very burned from what Toren and Dantiir have done. Segrid, it's your turn.
I think I'll move up to somewhere in between Dantiir and Toren.
Mm-hmm.
And
You do have a blood spear, and it does at least seem to be shielding you from some of the radiance around. Things seem more normal on the side of you that's carrying it.
fuck it. I'm gonna charge her. Rage and charge her if I can get over there.
Okay, yeah, there's just a single table in the way. That's nothing.
Oh yeah, I'm vaulting over that.
Go for it.
And I'm holding my spear two-handed. Just saying.
That's
30
a
to hit.
30 to hit. Yes, that's...
The spear is very, very nice.
Oh, yes. Oh, this will... how do you want this to go? You have her completely in your power of life and death.
She's wearing armor, so I'm going for any weak spot I can find. Either underneath the armpit or at the neck, straight through her eye if I could. This is pure primal rage. Anywhere that I can just stick her, I will, and I get another shot because I just remembered that.
Okay. Through... Oh, yes, both. Right through the eye, and then as she... almost like an involuntary scream. This is then, again, right through the other. And just there's 2 points almost seem to connect in the back of the skull. There is a great... There's a great red light just kind of burning within Glovia's head and torso, and then there's a very graying of that light. And as you pull back your blood spear, the blood dripping off of it, the slight brains, they are completely absorbed by the spear once again. And it, in its cunning way, has given you... it's given you about 6 temporary hit points that you feel around you in a bloody red glow. And you feel invigorated as Glovia expires there at the table.
Sigrid's just gonna this primal scream again because of the rage, and she's just gonna stand over the body for right now. She's probably gonna push Isabel out of the way. I don't think she has it in her to be gentle. She's gonna push Isabel away.
Oh, sure. Isabella is also screaming at this point. Toren. This has taken a turn.
Yeah, it has. Toren is not... That's just one more thing he failed to do. That's fine. Toren is going to look at Isabella and, like, I don't think anyone can really see, but he is crying. He is very upset. And he will say to her that she was supposed to be free. And then he will turn to our angelic friend and cast Blight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if he does not succeed, he takes 40 necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
On a DC 16 con save. And if he makes it, he takes half.
Powerful. Con save. As is normal for celestial beings, they do have advantage against magics. And so that is a 16, which I think just makes it.
Yeah, it meets.
Taking half that powerful blight damage. And you see like a few of his feathers about his wings wither and fall from him. And he says to you, "How dare you touch me?"
Oh, he evil.
And as a bonus action, because I can see him in the doorway, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Ezra. Because I feel like he has no idea what's going on, so...
Nice.
Protect the innocent. So you get +2 AC.
Nice. Okay. Anna, things seem pretty serious for your friends.
We got the idea earlier that these creatures are put together through magical means.
Yes.
Okay. Can I reach Isabel?
You could.
Probably not.
Yeah, in the same way that Segrid reached her mother.
Okay, so I could. Okay.
She's a very tall, willowy, weeping woman.
Okay.
With the voice
I'm
of a
going
child.
to try something, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to touch her on the shoulder and tell her it will be okay, and I will cast Dispel Magic.
As you do that, you see the... You see the stitches on Isabella's form. They are, now that you're up close, and by this action of, you see the stitches are tightening, glistening. You see them glow with a reddish orange blaze, as if she is marked with fire in so many places. Almost every joint and section of skin has been attached in tiny surgical, almost unnoticeable, except for these bright glows. But it is everywhere, and as your spell works its way across her body, you can see it being rejected in section by section by section. And her eyes, her almost cataracted eyes, are that they're seeing in some form. They turn to you and say, You killed Mama. And she is still there.
It was her. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. That would mean that it's Isabella's turn. And so as a flesh golem, with some experience in this area, you do know that a flesh golem is magical. It has some resistance against magical effects, and their attacks are magical. And so as Isabella lets go of her mother's arm against Anna. There is a really, really powerful punch that heads in her direction. And this one is 21 versus
Yes,
AC.
that hits.
Okay. And so you are struck by a fist of a woman not too much taller than yourself, but with the power of like a metal strike of a targeted spear. And as she punches you from across the table, she almost steps nonchalantly over her mother, but with fierceness, and she aims her other fist there at Segrid. But it's very, very wild. But Segrid, you feel the air coming off this one.
Okay.
Okay. And those half mud, half water tears are still flowing. Let's see. Ezra.
Eating
Okay.
brisket.
So we killed somebody. Cool. Awesome. Definitely happy about that.
Mhm.
Well, he's gonna step in a bit. And just sort of panic and Toren, you're gonna be taller, okay? And then,
Oh no!
okay,
Oh,
so
no.
casting enlarge on Toren.
Okay.
Oh no!
So you double in size. Your weight is multiplied by 8. You
Ooh, and I
become-
deal an extra D4 of damage.
you also
Oh wow!
check
Go ham with that mace.
throws.
So the good news is Toren's head is just barely scraping the ceiling.
Yeah, he's not that tall. Remember,
yeah.
he's only like 5'3".
Okay, so yeah, it's just a couple of inches up on the ceiling. This is only like a little more than like 10 feet. So double, you say? Okay. It's a very large Toren on the map now.
If only Ismark would hear, he would swoon.
He would. He likes his big burly man.
All right, that's pretty good. Like, oh, she's much bigger now, sir. Oh no, she's a man. Yeah, I can tell. It's the gluteus maximus down here. All right. The
Oh my gosh, that's right. Big butt.
Yep. That's like face level now, because Toren doubled in height.
Stop
like-
looking at my butt.
It's the maximost. All right. The Bellevues are going to. They are hiding behind the abbot, but they are very quickly terrified by the very, very large ASMR who's just appeared, and there's stairs in one way. There's really rampaging flesh golems in another.
Here's some windows.
Yeah, they're going to attempt to smash that and make their way one.
I hope we're not too
Side.
far up.
You're only 400 feet from like the floor. That's probably fine. Oh, good. That's a good window. Otto will smash this window out with his wooden bowl and grab Siegfried and throw her out before him, before leaving himself, and shouting out, "They're attacking the abbot! The abbot
no.
is under attack!" As they get a little bit out of view. And
You're
now
gonna
it's-
die.
It's Dantiir's turn.
I mean, like, it is a possibility.
Mhm.
Okay. Does the abbot have any metal on him?
And now that he is in his true angelic form, he barely has any clothing at any point.
Like, does he have like a metal weapon?
He does have that metal necklace of the Morning Lord. And you do see a weapon, a mace, appear in his hands. But it may be metal, but it is shining and casting a very fiery glow.
Alright, I am going to heat metal on the amulet.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to make a con save of 16.
Mm-hmm. 23.
He does. So he takes half of that. Or no, let's see. I always forget how this works because it's weird. Because I think the con save is just to keep it. Yeah, the con save is just not to have to throw it off. But he does take all that damage.
Okay. Rough. So you see this kind of burning onto his flesh, which is big deal on this dude. You at least see this kind of searing, and the smell is not that of regular burning flesh.
Which I am disturbingly
Unfortunately,
knowledgeable of.
very knowledgeable of.
And then for my bonus action, I'm going to turn to my brother, say, let's end this, and give him inspiration.
Mm-hmm. All right. I believe that's when the abbot has kind of had enough. Especially at the very large ASMR and the burning of his holy symbol granted him.
I love you guys. I'll
Morning,
have a
Lord.
new character prepped by now.
Yep.
And
I mean, technically, I can just blink out of here.
Of course it does. And so that's when you do see the abbot transform into a very young, but very shiny, very scaly, very sharp-looking, young gold dragon in front of you. And it's definitely got a kind of a space issue over here, but it is just as large as the Toren. And
Oh no.
Oh man, it's like Godzilla versus King Kong.
yes, and I think with a firing of its golden breath upon you, that's where we're going to have to leave it for tonight.
Oh, at least roll damage. Let me know how dead I am.
Let us make our saves.
Oh, sure.
Maybe.
So
I don't remember how Dragon Breath works in this edition.
this is in a 30-foot cone for, I guess, everyone. Give me all dexterity saving throws.
Okay, but remember, guys, you can add +3 to your dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
So I got a
It
15.
doesn't matter.
11.
You'll want to be getting something like a 17.
Yay!
Oh god.
I got
did
a
not.
16, so
did not.
Ezra was good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So everyone else, let's see, Ezra, you will be taking, let's say 28 fire damage.
Oh!
Then everyone else, you will be taking 55 fire damage.
Oh,
Anna's down.
Oh my god!
55?
Yes.
I have, I'm gonna need him to make a dexterity save,
Sure.
because this is purely instinctual at this point.
As he breathes fire on you all.
Yep.
Is this dexterity save for a physical attack or a magic attack?
Magic.
Oh, okay, so he's got advantage on that.
Yep. he makes it.
Okay.
But he takes like half of that then.
And then he takes half of that because now he is a gold dragon. And that is, well, that's usually a bit of a challenge. Welcome to Abbeys and Dragons, and we'll be back.
Anna is down, guys.
Some of us will be back in the next time.
Hey.
I have some hit points left.
So apologies on the late start. I did moving in the new place, and it's still some of the questing items for this have been lost or misplaced. We'll get them in time for the next week. Same Barovian time, same Barovian happy fun times next week.
Goodbye.
Mostly everyone. But success on a final quest against Glovia Falenescu, I think. And certainly Isabella's going to have to find some kind of rest now.
Well, I tried. She didn't like it. She punched me.
It's finishing these quests left and right. Praise that morning lord.
Praise him.
He grants such great powers like transformations. All right, so we'll see you guys next week. Better time, 6:00 p.m. Central Standard. Have all of our audio things hopefully fixed at that point. Just imagine all of our faces being tremendous throughout all this time.
Sad.
Traumatized.
Traumatized is a good one.
I will go ahead and start thinking of my replacement.
You are gonna make. No, you gotta make.
I have to make.
Yep, you gotta make.
Yeah,
I could make Anne. No, I can make Anne.
we've had Hannah, now Anna, I think. Yes.
And then Anne.
Anne, A-N.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for the final one, you'll just be ha.
Or
This
oh.
is me. You're gonna be a symbol. You're gonna be like Prince.
It was the kingdom of ah.
Yes.
No, ooh, like surprise and alarm. Sorry, I watched Monty Python the other day.
Oh dear.
Oh.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go have an existential crisis outside a game.
Me
Wonderful.
too.
I'm gonna go to bed.
I'm so happy.
I'm gonna go lie in bed and try and sleep.
This has been 17 episodes in the making. Oh, that's about 4 months to come back to here. You've been a wonderful audience, wonderful players. I am so glad this came 100% full circle.
I'm glad she's dead.
You have grown so much.
Literally and figuratively.
Toren is very large.
His butt is right in Ezra's face.
That's what
Sorry.
she said.
That's what Eastmark said.
Divine wind.
Oh no, Ezra Duck.
Oh.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night,
Good night, all.
everyone.
Bye.